जय
तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय।
जय
श्याम वेद भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय।
गौर प्रेमानंदे।
हरि हरि बोल।
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Hare
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. So today we are reading Canto 3, Chapter 6, and text number 6 also. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यास ततो जायमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So I will recite the shlok for 3 times and then you can please recite after. Hiranyamayah sapurushah सहस्र परिवत्सरान् अंडकोश उवाष्टाप्सु सर्व सत्तोप ब्रह्मितः. हिरण्यमयः स पुरुषः सहस्र परिवत्सरान् अंडकोश उपासाप्सु सर्वसत्तोप ब्रह्मितः. हिरण्यमयः स पुरुषः सहस्र परिवत्सरान् अंडकोश उपासाप्सु सत्तोप ब्रह्मितः. Please recite.
हिरण्मया स पुरुषः सहस्र परिवत्सरान् अंडकोश उवासाप्सु सर्वसत्त्वोपबृंहितः.
हिरण्मया स पुरुषः सहस्र परिवत्सरान् अंडकोश उवासापो सर्वसत्त्वोपबृंहितः. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण.
हिरण्यमयः स पुरुषः सहस्र परिवत्सरान् अंडकोश उवासाप्सु सर्वसतोपबृंहितः.
Anyone else wants to try? Okay, so let us read word to word translation. Hiranyamayah, the Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who also assumes the Virat Rupa. Saha, he, Purushah, incarnation of Godhead. Sahasra, 1000. Parivatsaran, celestial years. Andakosha, within the global universe. Uvasa, resides. Apsu, on the water. Sarva Sattva, all living entities lying with him. Upabrahmhitaha, so spread. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The gigantic Virat Purusha, known as Hiranyamaya, lives for 1000 celestial years on the water of universe, and all the living entities lay with him. Purport. After the Lord entered each and every universe, is the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, half of the universe was filled with water. The cosmic manifestation of the planetary system, outer space, etc., which are visible to us, is only one half of the complete universe. Before the manifestation takes place, and after the entrance of Vayu, of Vishnu, within the universe, there is a period of 1,000 celestial years. All the living entities injected within the womb of Mahatattva and are divided into all universes with the incarnation of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And all of them lie down with the Lord until Brahma is born. Brahma is the first living being within the universe. And from him, all other demigods and living creatures are born. Manu is the original father of mankind, and therefore in Sanskrit, mankind is called Manushya. Humanity in different bodily qualities is distributed throughout the various planetary systems. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshura Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. So, this we are reading very nice description or creation of the universal form of the Lord. And this universal form is actually very important. And that's why it is given so many places in the Bhagavatam, so many pages of Bhagavatam. Because in the third canto, if you see from chapter 1 to chapter 3, there is the Uddhavji and Vidurji, they were describing directly about the Krishna's human-like pastimes. But later on, from the fourth chapter, we are reading the Krishna's pastimes, which are actually have so much power, Krishna shows so much energy about Krishna, unlimited powers. And what Krishna displays in this material world. So people can understand that Krishna is not just like does the activity according to humans, or what humans can do. He has superhuman powers and he has unlimited powers. We cannot actually predict what Krishna can do. There is nothing in the world which Krishna cannot do. So Krishna has so much power and people should know about it. Then only they will understand what Krishna is actually and how great he is and develop some kind of love. And that is the aim of our life, that we develop some kind of prayojan. That means our goal should be to love Krishna. And if we don't know about Krishna enough, then how we can develop the love. So that's why the Maitreya Muni and Vidurji are discussing about these things for our benefit actually. So we started now the sixth chapter now, and sixth chapter today we are reading the sixth verse. So far, in the verse number 1, Karnadaksha Vishnu was described, that he saw that this creative function was suspended because of the non-combination of the 23 elements. And after that, in verse number 2 and 3, we discussed about how Krishna sent his Vibrat Shakti or cohesive energy. So that energy actually amalgamated all the elements. And at that point, the living entities got very happy, and including the demigods, and they started awaking like they are awaking from the sleep. In verse number 4 and 5, we discussed about how all the elements set into action and how they started working by Krishna's presence there, So Krishna's presence is needed in each and every step of this universe. We don't realize, even we have to lift our arm, how Krishna helps us, If Krishna doesn't want, we cannot even raise our arm. So this is our condition actually. Sometimes we feel, that I'm very powerful and I am this and I'm that, but that's not the truth. Truth is that Krishna is actually helping us in everything what we do. And today's verse is describing about the universal fetus or Hiranyamaya. Hiranyamaya is this universal fetus, which is lying down and it is made inside in the pores of Karnadaksha Vishnu's skin pores, because when there is an annihilation, during annihilation, what happens? And when Lord Vishnu breathes in, all the universes at the time of annihilation, they all go in his belly with his respiration, in. At that time, they all go there, all the jivatmas, go there, the souls, and they stay there for long time during, like if it is full pralay, like after the Brahma's life, lifetime, which is the 100 years of his life, which is actually how much? It's very long time. Brahma's one lifetime is 311 trillion years. Last time in the class, I said very little, like 3 trillion, but it's actually 311 trillion years. So that's very long life. And after that, that long time, that long life is in the night also. Night also same, 311 trillion years. So till that time, so long time, we are within the belly of the Lord Vishnu, and then we come out of the spores, and then Vishnu makes a Hiranyamaya, or the universal fetus. And in that fetus, we stay for thousands celestial years. And then Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters in that Hiranyamaya, or that universal fetus. And then that once his presence comes in, all the living souls, jivas, they get enlightened, they get all active, and they get very happy in presence of the Lord. And then Garbhodaksha Vishnu wants to take rest, so he makes the Garbhodak ocean. And that Garbhodak ocean is made by his perspiration. And by his perspiration, that Garbhodak ocean is filled half. So half of the space in this universe is just his perspiration, actually. That's why there is so many seas are there, oceans are there, and those oceans, the water is salty because it was perspiration of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And in half of the area, which we see actually visible area, we see mountains, we see all the houses, roads, all this open area, and then whole sky, This is the half of the portion of this universe actually, which we see by our eyes, and half is already filled with the water. So this Virat Rupa is very, very large. It's not small. And so this Virat Purush he does different functioning in this material world. And tomorrow's verse, we will see how it comes to like 1, 10, and 3. 1 is the Jiva Shakti, 10 is the Pran Shakti, which is like 10 Pran Vayus, and 3 Atma Shaktis. Atma Shakti will be Adi Atma, Adi Bhuta, and Adi Deva, which will be discussed tomorrow. So I don't want to touch that subject matter yet. So let us see how the formation of the universe takes place. Actually, that's very important subject matter. And although it is quite technical, but we should try to understand as much as possible, because I know Krishna's every action is so much, it's beyond our conception, that we can understand this fully. Nobody can understand Krishna fully. But those people, who are self-realized, they can understand it. And like Vyasadeva ji, who was the incarnation of Krishna himself, so so those kind of people, can understand and can write it for us, so we can try to understand this thing. Krishna's Leelas, nobody can understand fully. And it needs actually the blessings of Krishna, blessings of Guru, blessings of Vaishnavas, and blessings of so many other people, so that way we can try to understand. Otherwise, nothing will go, and we will never be able to understand these things. So first thing happens, in the formation of universal, that these personified elements were praying to Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Supreme Personality of Godhead at that time, he decides to create the universal form. And how he did that? By his Chitta Shakti. So Chit Shakti comes from his Shakti, knowledge Shakti. That's from his Shakti, which takes care of the knowledge of Krishna. And those elements were sleeping in the beginning, and they were not mixing in the beginning. But when Lord enters the element via his Kal Shakti, Lord enters with the Kal Shakti actually, which we say Durga Devi or Kali Devi. So then when that Shakti goes, then there is a cohesion between all the elements and they started working at that time. Another thing, what happens actually that the dormant, our karmas of all the jiva, and they also, Lord enters in those karmas also of all the jivas by his Kriya Shakti. So the jivas, Kriya Shakti, and all the elements together, they form the golden age. So this is the formation of golden age, how it is made of Kriya Shakti of the Lord and Kal Shakti of the Lord. So then there is a development of Hiranya, golden egg, Hiranyamaya or golden egg. So Hiranyamaya actually is made within the pores of the Karnadaksha Vishnu or Mahavishnu. So it's made there and it lies there. And at that time, the golden eggs has 7 layers actually, which we discussed a couple of days ago. So those layers, we can repeat it again. The 5 main elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So these are the 5 main ingredients, which makes this universe. And other than that is ahankar, which consists of our mana, mind, and our buddhi, intelligence, and then 10 senses. So that is the ahankar. And then there is 7th layer is the Mahatattva, which is made from the Chit Shakti of the Supreme Lord. So these are the 7 layers on this golden egg. So this golden egg, this golden egg, whole golden egg is a universal form. We cannot see that form. Only few lucky people were able to see this whole universe. We see only what it is around us. We cannot see whole thing. That Garbhodaksha Vishnu is lying down and the stem is coming from his navel, and it is billion mile long. And then on the top, Lord Brahma is sitting. We cannot see all these things. The whole planetary system is the universal form of the Lord, especially the stem, lotus stem, whole lotus stem, because we all are in the lotus stem. All 14 planet system is inside that stem actually. So this golden universal form is consist of 14 planet systems, and all the jivas are resting in it. So all the jivas and the planetary systems, they all are part of the universal form. So what happens actually that everything is remain in the universal egg. That egg, is in the Karana ocean where the Mahavishnu lies. So in the Karana ocean, those eggs are floating. And how many years they float there? For 1,000 celestial years. So we can imagine how long we were sleeping. And then after that, when Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters in those golden eggs, and he is situated with the time, karma, and swabhava. So then when he comes, then when Garbhodaksha Vishnu comes, then all the jiva souls actually get up, and then they get active, and they see here and there. But then Garbhodaksha Vishnu also, when he comes, then he looks for the place to rest. So he rests on the Sheshnag, Ananta Shesh, and at that time he creates the Garbhodak ocean, and then Ananta Shesh comes in the Garbhodak ocean, and then half it is filled with his perspiration, half of the universe. And at that time, Garbhodaksha Vishnu actually, is this slok says that celestial air on the lived for 1,000 celestial year on the water of universe. All the living entities lay with him. So we all, because Garbhodaksha Vishnu is sleeping on the Sheshnag in the Garbhodak ocean, but all the jivas on the different universes, they also go in the Nidra, because this earth is not active at that time, and so that's a sleeping time till the Brahma is born, on the Brahma comes in the picture. Till that time, so that's many trillions of years. So we all sleeping for so long time. You can imagine how many years we slept. So, but then once we are awake, we did our activities we are doing in this material world. So this, what is Virat Roop? Totality of Virat Roop is the lotus stem arising from the Lord's navel, and this whole lotus stem becomes the universal form. So this universal form, as we discussed, that this is discussed in 5 different places in this Bhagavatam, and like in the second canto, first chapter, second canto, 5 and 6 chapters, then second canto, 10th chapter. Then we are reading this 6th chapter now of the third canto, and we will read one more time on the 26th chapter. So we can imagine, if it is not important, how it will be coming so many times about the universal form in Srimad Bhagavatam, because in Srimad Bhagavatam there is nothing which is not important, So we should remember that this is very important, and we have to pay attention and try to learn systematically how we can understand this Virat Roop. So I will like to talk a little bit about Virat Roop. So this Virat Roop is universal form of Krishna, and this is the cosmic manifestation actually. This is material manifestation of Krishna. This is not the eternal manifestation of Krishna, or transcendental manifestation of Krishna, and which actually shows his lot of powers and his presence. And this was shown to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And this is a vision actually of Krishna, that he has, this whole universe is his body actually. So it shows his infinite nature that way, that what Krishna is. So what is the significance of this form? This form is to demonstrate the Krishna's superhuman powers and establish the position of Krishna as the ultimate reality in this creation. So that was the purpose of this whole universal form, so people can know, because unless we know about Krishna fully, and it's very hard to love him or learn anything about him. So we should try to understand this. And also this universal form is described fully in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is 11th chapter, the title is the universal form. So in that I will like to read one translation from text number 30, 1130, saying, "O Vidur, I see you devouring all people in your blazing mouth, and covering all the universes by your immense rays, scorching the whole world, and you are manifest." So in that way, Srimad Bhagavatam is postgraduate study, because this is in Bhagavad Gita, the universal form is very basically taught. Basically, Krishna described to Arjuna at that time. And in the Bhagavatam, it's a lot detailed in so many different chapters. And so this is the science of Krishna, the absolute truth, that how great he is. So this universal form of Krishna made for particular kind of people who cannot put their faith impersonal feature of Krishna, like impersonalist. So Krishna gives them a chance to understand and associate with his Virat Roop, that what Virat Roop is. And so this is actually like an impersonal feature of the Lord. But those who want to see the Lord with their present material eyes, they cannot see. But then they can be taught that, see, Krishna is everywhere. There is nothing in this whole world, this whole universe actually. He is present in each atom, in each souls, in everything. There is nothing actually, we should say, there is nothing where Krishna is not there. Krishna is everywhere. So this is kind of Virat Roop. But we cannot see in one glimpse the whole thing. So that will help them to save himself from material conditioning life. And once we know the Virat Roop, that everything is so, Krishna is so great, then it will open the path for liberation. Slowly, slowly, we will know more and more about Krishna. Then that way we can go back to Godhead. So Krishna's purpose is to give us some kind of knowledge about him. That way we can go back to him. So for a materialist, actually, worship of the universal form or gigantic form leads one to right path. So that is the benefit actually for even the people who don't believe in Krishna. And Prabhupada actually is writing so many places that one should not mislead, but that they can approach the demigods and they can fulfill their desires that way. For anything, one should approach Krishna only. And because once we approach Krishna, or Krishna is happy with us, all the demigods are automatically happy with that. Like we water the plant's root, and all the leaves and twigs and branches and everything is actually vitalized, they are all happy. So that way, once we serve Krishna, all the demigods are automatically served, automatically will be served nicely, and they will be happy anyway. So this universal form is temporary manifestation of Krishna, and it includes all the created beings also and created things also. So all the material things in this material world, like mountains, forest, everything, they and all the jiva souls, they are all included in this universal form. And this universal form, like there is description that Shastra seer and Shastra mouth, thousands of eyes, thousands of mouth, thousands of arms. So this shows very, very gigantic form of Krishna. And this form, Virat Roop, is actually decorated with celestial ornaments and also divine weapons also. And it contains both peaceful and wrathful, means, very like fearful kind of forms. Because when Arjuna saw that how everything was burning inside mouth of Krishna, how all the universes were floating inside, he actually got little scared, and he told Krishna, please show me your two-arm form. That's what I want to see. So two-arm form is very pleasant. And this universal form is mostly not for the devotees, but for the people who are impersonalist or who don't believe in Krishna. For them, Krishna made this form. Krishna's most famous divine form is Vishwaroop. And so two-arm form. So now we can discuss little bit about who were lucky people, very few lucky people who could see this Virat Roop form. So who was the luckiest? The gopis of the Vrindavan. The first one is Yashoda Maya, who saw actually Krishna's Vishwaroop or Virat Roop or universal form 2 times. One time when he was caught about eating the dirt, Bhakshan, Mrad Bhakshan Leela. So when Balramji complained to mother, and all the cowherd boy complained that Krishna ate dirt. So Mother Yashoda took him on his lap and asked Krishna, tell me if you have eaten the dirt. And he says, no, no, Maya, I have not. And then he opens his mouth, and Mother Yashoda can see all the universes as floating, all the fire and everything inside, all the jivas also living inside. So it was then Mother Yashoda immediately, he closed his mouth. Krishna closed his mouth, and Mother Yashoda totally, why the Yog Maya Shakti? Because Krishna didn't wanted Mother to know that Krishna is in Krishna's mouth, all these things, because he was performing the Manav Leela, and that's why he closed his mouth. Similarly, second time, Mother Yashoda also saw after killing of the Tranavarta, when Tranavarta was killed, at that time, Mother Yashoda, the gopis brought him to Mother Yashoda, and Krishna was in his lap and drinking milk. And at that time, Krishna had to yawn. And when he was yawning, his mouth come open. Mother Yashoda could see again the universal form. And similarly, when he closed the eye, Mother Yashoda forgot everything. And the third time, he showed to Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and we have read that description also before. And then he showed in Hastinapur, in Kuru Sabha, when he went as a peace messenger. And then he was trying to say to Duryodhana that at least give some villages, 5 villages at least to Pandavas, so there will be no fight and they will be happy with that. But Duryodhana was kind of demoniac mentality. He said, I will not give anything to them. And then he said that then Duryodhana trying to capture him, make him a prisoner. So he told his army that capture him. At that time, Krishna showed the Virat Roop. And we can see, it was so, again, everybody got scared, but only few people in that Sabha can see it. Then, after the Mahabharata war, it was showed to Uttak Muni, Uttak Rishi, after war of Mahabharata, when Krishna was going back from Hastinapur to Dwarika. At that time, in the way, there was ashram of Uttak Rishi. And Uttak Rishi was his classmate when he was studying in the Sandipani ashram. So he stayed there little time, and because he didn't know, never knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there was some discussion among both friends, and Krishna showed him the universal form. So this, and other time when it was shown to Markandeya Rishi also. Markandeya Rishi was the person who was in the devastation, complete devastation. He was floating because he had some kind of boon that he will not die. So he was floating and he caught hold a tree, banyan tree. And he saw at that time that on the banyan leaf, Balamukunda, the small Krishna, was lying down and he was sucking his toe, the big toe. And that it was so beautiful scene that he completely kept looking it. At that time, he saw Krishna and he was meditating on Krishna. So immediately Krishna took him in his mouth. And then he saw inside his whole body, in his stomach, he saw all the universal form of Krishna, everything from. So then he came out of his mouth. So these are the many different peoples. Then he showed it to Kakbhushandiji also, who was in the Treta Yuga. And Kakbhushandiji is still alive. So these are the people, who actually saw the Krishnas. Everybody is not that lucky to see. We can never be able to see Krishna's Virat Roop, but we don't want to see also. We want to see his two forms and what we see in the temple like that, Krishna's. And we can see how beautiful is Krishna. So there are the description, in this Virat Roop about the three different kind of Vishnus. So we will discuss little bit about the three forms of Vishnu because they are so important to know. And there is a lot of benefit also to know. Like in Sattva Tantra Upanishad, there is written on the first chapter, 38 verse, that one who knows these three forms is liberated from the clutches of Maya right away. So it is so simple thing to know about the three forms. We will not know in the detail, but little bit knowing, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam, yo me iti tatvata taktva dehan puran janma neti mam tiso Arjuna. So just by knowing the activities of Krishna and the Janma of Krishna, so one can actually get out of this material world. So people may say, oh my God, this is very easy, but it's not that easy. So that similarly, knowing about three Vishnu, we can get liberated from the clutches of Maya. But to get the Krishna's love is different thing. So there are three Vishnus. One is the Mahavishnu, which creates this total material energy, Mahatattva. And then second Vishnu is Garbhodakshay Vishnu, who is situated within each universe. There are millions and millions of universe. So Mahavishnu actually expands his forms in Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and who is situated in every universe. And then there is Kshirodakshay Vishnu, which lives in this material world in Kshir Sagar, and also living in the heart of every single living being, living souls, in the form of our souls, Paramatma, and also in each atom and even between the atoms. So this Mahavishnu originates from Lord Narayan, and he's the Lord of the Vaikuntha, and he's the source of all this vast spiritual water known as the causal ocean or Karan Sagar. So this Karan Sagar actually is in the spiritual world, and there is a Karan in between the spiritual world there is Karan Sagar, and in that Karan Sagar he lies down on the bed of Ananta Shesha. So when this Mahavishnu actually glances at the Prakriti, then this all and gives seed of this material universe. And at that time, a spiritual spark comes, and then this whole universe gets populated. Then he expands himself in innumerable Garbhodakshay Vishnus and goes in all these universes. So Garbhodakshay Vishnu, he lies down where the Garbhodakshay Vishnu is there. It's in between the spiritual world and material world. So above the Lord Brahmaji's place, Brahmalok, above the Brahmalok, but in Brahmalok, where is the Brahmalok? Which is on the top of where is the lotus flower stem ends, and the lotus flower comes, he's sitting on the lotus, Brahmaji is sitting on that lotus flower. And after that, there is place for the Garbhodakshay Vishnu. So first he enters universe, and then but when he enters the universe, what happens? The egg, which we are reading, that what happens? That it is very dark and gloomy and completely empty. And there is no place to reside. That's why this Garbhodakshay Vishnu, what he does, he creates the universal water from his perspiration and fills up the half of this universe and half of the thing which we see here. That's what we see actually by our eyes. And the third Vishnu is the Kshirodakshay Vishnu, which actually lives in the Kshir Sagar, also known as ocean of milk. So where is his place actually? His place is in this material world by the side of the Dhruva, star Dhruva, or we say North Star, North Pole. So it is there. And at the annihilation of this whole universe, actually, that Kshir Sagar is never, like even the Dhruva star, that place is not actually dissolves, it stays there. And so Kshirodaksha Vishnu stays there within the milk of ocean. And there is Shwetadeep. He stays in the Shwetadeep. So whenever there is a problem, we see that description that all the Brahmaji and along with Lord Shiva and other demigods goes to the shore of the milk ocean, and there they pray, and then nobody sees Kshirodaksha Vishnu, but he transmits some messages, and then that's where this whole material world. And we have read that description that when there was problem, the cow had the problem, that he was broke, her legs were broken, and Brahmaji took the cow also, and other demigods, and went and prayed. And then Krishna says, I will come. So he comes to millennium after millennium after millennium, yuge yuge. So he is actually, Kshirodaksha Vishnu is one of the Purusha avatar. There are 3 Purusha avatars. These are all 3 Vishnus: Karanadaksha Vishnu or Mahavishnu, then Garbhodaksha Vishnu and Kshirodaksha Vishnu. And he's also Guna avatar also at the same time. So this Vishwarup are the universal form of the Lord. This is the blueprint of this universe. We can say in one way that this is the blueprint actually. And this is the material manifestation of Lord. And this cannot actually be called his form because Krishna is never material. So actually his form is Satchit and Ananda form. He's all the time spiritual and he's never material. So we cannot say that this is Krishna's real form, So this is material form of Krishna. But Krishna also pervades in this material world, and he is non-different from the entire material creation. So he's part of creation also because this whole creation is made by him. So it is his part, but his rupa is eternal and Satchit and Ananda. So this universal form appears from the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, who is an aspect of the Mahavishnu or Karanadaksha Vishnu. And then there is Kshirodaksha Vishnu and Garbhodaksha Vishnu. They both enter actually in every place up in the universe. So like Garbhodaksha Vishnu goes in, Kshirodaksha Vishnu goes in all the souls and everything. So this is the way it works. So this Vishwarup is a gigantic form of the Lord, and it is very much appreciated by impersonalists. They like this kind of description, these Mayavadis. And it is not the eternal form of the Lord. And Krishna showed to Arjuna just to convince the impersonalist actually that he is the original personality of Godhead and he has so much power, So this was the whole aim of Krishna, to show him the form of Vishwarupa. So this is very interesting description, and actually this is Krishna shows this so that we may know more and more about Krishna, how powerful he is, how much energy he is, and so they slowly people who are even impressionist, they can still get some kind of knowledge about Krishna, and then they can increase the knowledge. So we should actually somehow or the other we should develop some love for Krishna. And how can develop love for Krishna? The best thing is just like it is said, Suddha Chitta Krishna Prema Sabhya Kabunai Shravanadi Sutta Chitte Karyavodaya. So when we hear with the Shuddha Chitta, with our complete attention and pay full attention to this Shravan, whatever we are showing, then Krishna Prem will slowly develop in our heart. And all the impurities from the heart will go away that way. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually has taught us that he was directing, that actually all Jiva souls in this material world has inbuilt Krishna Prem. But because of the association with this material world, three gunas, our heart and our consciousness is all got contaminated. And we have so many layers of dirt on our soul. Our soul is pure actually, it's eternal. It never dies. When man dies, the soul goes to other body, it goes to different place, according to our karma. And then we get the birth according to our karmas. So the soul never dies, but our inclination about Krishna is there, and inclination can be increased by hearing. So that way we can progress with peace and happiness, and we can actually develop our love. And to whom to love? That is also another question many people have. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given Aryadya Bhagavanam Brajesh Tanaya Tadham Vrindavana Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita. So the Supreme Lord to be worshipped is who? Son of Maharaj Nanda, who is the king of Brajesh Tanaya, who is king of Raj Bhumi. And his personal abode is Tadadhama Vrindavana. So that his place of staying is Vrindavan. He is always in Vrindavan Dham. He never leaves Vrindavan. And how to serve him? That's another question. So he says, the Supreme Lord, what is the most favorable mode of serving him? Which is practiced by the Braj Gopis. Ramya Kachit Upasana Brajavadu. The way the Brajavadus, themselves of the Vrindavan, how they practice their love for Krishna. So we should get in their footsteps and follow their footsteps, and then see how we can develop that kind of love, which is very hard. That is the highest love. Highest love, is from the Braj Gopis, actually. And Krishna, that's why Krishna is so happy with all the Brajavasis, because they love Krishna. It doesn't matter. And they never thought that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. They say this is our little Kana. Whatever he does is good for us. He showed so many things, so many superpowers to Brajavasis. Like he lifted Govardhan, and which was so big and so heavy. But nobody thought that Krishna is a supreme human being, or he has supreme powers. He killed so many demons. Everyone saw it in the Braj Bhumi. Everyone saw Putna, who was 14 miles long after her death. She was 14 miles long, and they cut pieces and they burned her body. But still, Brajavasis could not imagine that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He cannot be a normal person. So killing so many big demons, still nobody could understand that, because Yogamaya Shakti will make them forget, because otherwise they cannot love Krishna so much. And that's why he danced on the foots of Kaliya, and still who can go and kill the Kaliya like that? Not killing, but he liberated him. He sent him to his original place, where he was before. So he did so many things for Brajavasis, and still Brajavasis actually love him so much, and they forgot all about his leelas, and still thought that Krishna is there, one of them. And so that is the real love. And Krishna wanted that way. Krishna didn't want it that Brajavasis should know that I'm so powerful, I'm so great, I'm so supreme personality of Godhead, because he wanted to enjoy the relationships. So many times we see materialists, they say about how to love. And they say that first we have to love our body, and then they say, then love your father and love your mother. And then they get little bit wider, and they will say, oh, love your brother and sister. then love your society, then they will say love your country, and then they say love your human society. But this kind of love, extended love, because many say, oh, we have to help the poor and we have to help the community and like that, so many people are in this material world. We say that, but this kind of love will never give us any satisfaction actually, unless we reach to the loving to Krishna. Once we get the love of Krishna, then everything will be satisfied. Everything will start, like if you throw a stone in a pond, what happens? All the circles starts. So those circles will go on building till it touches the rim of the circle, rim of that pond. So at that time it reaches the shore and it gets finished, So similarly, if we say love society, love country, love my nation, these are all like that, that love is not good. So we have to love directly to Krishna. And when Krishna includes everything, already society is there, humans, all the jiva souls are there. So we need not to love different person, but just love Krishna. And Krishna is all attractive and he's everything. And why is everything? Because he's the center of everything actually. And that's why, like in our own family, we see we love our father. Then if we love our father, then we automatically love our brothers, sisters also, and servant of the father also, and servant of the home, and our mother also we love. So once we love one person, we love everyone like that. So once we love Krishna, then automatically we will love all our neighbors, all the humanity like that. So we should learn how to love Krishna and try to make her happy by all our devotional service, and that will actually be very beneficial to all of us. I will end here. If somebody has any question, comments, please go ahead and we can discuss this. Thank you very much for listening. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for this really well-spoken class. I'm just amazed at how nicely you explained material that has always been so challenging for me personally to absorb. I loved your explanations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm curious, I have heard in the past that Kshirodakshai Vishnu is not only in every living entity, but in every atom.
Yes.
So are we to understand, again, I've heard this and I'm not sure where it's coming from, that let's take the Himalayas, or the Himalayas, however you pronounce it, that there is one primary soul for the entire complex of mountain ranges, and then every other soul is subordinate to that soul. I have heard things like this, and I'm wondering if you've ever heard what Prabhupada may have said about that.
I have not heard that, but Garbhodaksha Vishnu is in all jiva souls, wherever they are. In even the plants and mountain, they are also jivas actually. They have personified forms. So Krishna is in everything actually. There is no place where Krishna is not there in this material world. He's in the form of the Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So he is there. He's not there. So Krishna is everywhere, we should just take that Krishna's words that he is everywhere. There's not a single place which is without Krishna. Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So perhaps it's that, like, we as humans have labeled the Himalayan mountains as such, but we are to understand that Krishna is in every single atom, and perhaps there isn't a primary atom that represents the mountains. That's more like man trying to understand the mountain. I've heard this more than once, that this thing
Hmm.
about a primary soul. I'm just wondering if anyone has heard this or heard.
It may be, I do not know, I have not heard that way, but it may be like personified form of the mountain, So they must have taken it as one soul, like that. And it's a different, people explain it differently, but understanding is that he's present in every atom. And mountain is made of so many atoms, mountain is not small. So there are so many atoms in the mountain. So he's present in the personified atom also, personified mountain also, and also in each part of the personified person. So in all atoms also, yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
On the same line, yesterday, actually, in Sunday school, I was telling the children that Krishna is there in every living entity. Some kids were wondering if bugs and insects have soul in them and things like that. And of course, there are some boys who get a little precocious and they said, is Krishna there in that dry erase board? How do you explain that? I mean, the only thing I could think of is to say the dry erase board did not appear by itself in that form. It was made by certain other materials. There was raw materials, and all of those are Krishna's creation in them. But I mean, how do you explain that? Again, this is for children, so
Uh-huh. Well, any item, anything we see is made of some atoms,
Right.
Some part taken from this world, material world. So those atoms, every atom has Vishnu there in that is present in every atom. So the board also has atoms, and so that also has form of Krishna or form of Vishnu in them. So that's why anything we touch by our leg, we say we teach our children, not to touch with your foot, or with your toes. So that's why I say, because everything is the presence of Lord there. So that's when we get up, in the morning, before we put our feet even on the ground, we say Mahalakshmi Namastubhyam Sareshwari, Hari Priya Namastubhyam Dayanidhi. So we say that, please excuse me for even touching you by my feet, because we walk on so many things whole day. So that's why we pray in the morning when we get up. My father taught me that way, that every morning before you touch your feet to the ground, you should say this mantra 3 times. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else has any question or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it's very nice class. I get to learn so many things from the class, and especially I never heard what you said about Kirudakshay Vishnu's, from the perspiration the oceans made, and that's why the water is salty. Today I learned that too. It
I
was
heard
nice.
in one other class, but yeah, it is written by perspiration. So perspiration is always has little salt,
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not written in Bhagavatam, but the devotees presume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is nice connection.
Yeah.
We feel this like it's truth.
Right.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. It was so nice class. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. But
Thank you.
understanding this, I'm getting every class they're telling what is that creation and how it is and how it happened, Shirogosai, all the Vishnus and other things. But it's still very hard to understand that, every class we are listening to this. But it's very lot of information to know. Need to, Krishna has to give us knowledge to understand him. So that was really something.
That is the only hope, Mataji. We hear more and more classes and learn more and more about Krishna. So that way we can develop love for him somehow or the other. Because it's not that easy to love Krishna or develop love for Krishna. So
That's
hearing again and again and again, it may lead us to that. So
yeah.
we have to just make our life successful that way.
When I see the deity form in the temple, I always think of these classes and connect, how smiling face, and he's just peacefully standing like a little boy. But he has so many things in him. It is very hard to understand, Prabhu. Anyway, keep on listening to these classes and you'll see one day I'll understand fully. I pray God, I pray Krishna to give me that strength.
We all have to pray so we can understand Krishna a little bit, We will never know him, his whole things, whole leelas and all the powers, nobody can understand that, but at least we can understand a little bit,
A little bit.
But life will be perfect.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Very nicely you explained everything. And I think I understood one thing today, that within the universal form, there is a Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, both present. Is it correct? Did I understand?
Because
correct?
from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu comes, so that's form of him. So
Okay.
whole creation is from, because Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is already there, and then Kshirodakshaya Vishnu comes in. He goes in all the Jiva souls and in all the atoms and everything. So both are there, and they both are part of Karunadaksha Vishnu, Mahavishnu. So all three Vishnus are there actually. Yeah, it's not three Vishnus actually. They are from one Vishnu. Yeah, they just came. It's not separate personalities, So yeah, it's we can consider them all or consider them separate. It's just for our understanding that way.
Yeah. Okay. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So anyone else has any comments? Otherwise, we can end here. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Nandakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much.